What's up, peeps? Nick Battle, aka Nino's Corner, man. First off, if you like this content that's coming your way, hit that subscribe button. It means a lot. Like, comment, subscribe to all the videos on this channel. Share, follow the whole nine, man. But first off, guys, you know what I'm here for. Arch Manning. Arch Manning committed to Texas, baby. That's what I'm talking about, man. Well, first off, guys, let's get to the sponsors. It's not going to be a lot of sponsorship today. I'm not going to talk a lot. Hey, 20% off and free worldwide shipping using the code NinosCorner at manscaped.com. Again, 20% off and free shipping worldwide using the code NinosCorner at manscaped.com. But first off, guys, Arch Manning in Texas, man. This is huge. This is huge, man. The number one player in the country this year, Arch Manning, for the 2023 cycle, bringing him here. Just take a look at the last the highest rated quarterbacks in the recruiting era have all committed to the University of Texas. First being Vince Young, second being Quinn Ewers, and third being Arch Manning. How big is this? This is huge, folks. Look, his tight end, Will Randall, committed last week to Texas. I wanted to do a video then, and I started to think, man, I don't know, don't do a video yet, because if that's happening, Arch is probably going to happen. And voila, Arch happened just a few days later. This is huge for Texas folks in the fact that not only is he the best quarterback that you can get on the market out there, but this is going to lure in so many recruits, people. Like, people, I don't think you understand what this is going to do. This is eerie similar to when Chris Sims committed here to Texas and brought along an offensive juggernaut of wide receivers and tight ends. You know, your Roy Williams, your BJs, your Sloans, your Bo Scaife, I think, came in that same year as well. On the defensive side of the ball, you know, we got Corey Redding, and that boosted that defensive class as well that year. And we had a takeover when it came to recruiting. I mean, it was truly outstanding. And I think that's what Arch Manning has the possibility of doing here at Texas, with him leading and being the bell cow for this class. Folks, we're going to see a lot of skill position players want to come and commit to Texas and play with Arch Manning. It is going to happen. I think everybody understands that. But, folks, this is huge because look at what Texas did over the last year, folks. Steve Sarkeesian's first year, 5-7. Then we follow up a 5-7 season, guys, which is, let's be honest, 5-7 losing to Kansas, and we followed up with a top, 3 to 5, class for the 2022 cycle when it came to recruiting. Getting a surefire quarterback in Quinn Ewers to actually transfer back into Texas, and having a hell of an offensive line class. Now in 2023 class, getting a guy like Arch Manning to be that signal caller here at Texas is just going to be amazing. So we're doing all this coming off a 5-7 season. All this off a 5-7 season, folks. I mean, just get that through your head there for a minute. But what this tells you is that the offensive skill position players are buying into what Steve Sarkeesian is selling. And he's not selling BS. He's selling quality goods, folks. We've seen what he's been able to do with an offense. Texas offense was the top, 25, 30 offense in the country last year, top 15, 20 in the country. If they can shore up that defensive side of the ball, things are going to be gravy. But what this also does, folks, is you see Arch come in for the 2023 cycle. Texas brings in a huge offensive line class in the 2022 cycle. 7 really good offensive linemen, the number one tackle in the country in Kelvin Banks Jr., the number one guard and probably number one overall offensive lineman prospect, and DJ Campbell coming in as well. You got NATO here as well. You got Connor Robinson, Cole Hudson. I know I'm missing a few. Malik Agbo, and I'm missing somebody else. But we got a class. We got a really good class to come in this year. So what does that mean for Arch? Oh, Cam Williams. I can't forget Big Cam, man. That's one guy that you can't forget. But what does that mean for Arch? This means that when Arch comes in the 2023 class, let's say, for instance, Quinn comes in and balls out and he does it for 2 years and goes to the league. If everything works out perfect, Arch gets to redshirt in the 2023 cycle, which would be Quinn's last year here if he decides to leave early and go into the draft, meaning that it'll be a battle between Arch Manning and Malik Murphy, to be the starting quarterback for 2024. Malik Murphy will be a redshirt sophomore at that time. Arch Manning will be a redshirt freshman at that time. But you're seeing that this class is going to solidify around him. Having that offensive line class early in 2022 is going to bolster and just be a better class when he and Malik Murphy compete to be starters in the 2024 season. Granted that Quinn Ewers comes out early and goes to the league. I know that there's a lot of ifs, but these things are things that can definitely happen if this offense rolls and does what it's supposed to do and Quinn balls out for the next 2 years. So if Arch starts, if Arch or Murphy start in the 2024 season, that means that this class that we have here for the 2022 cycle for offensive linemen, these guys are mature, they're ready, they're a couple years in the program, and now Arch has a line that is solidified and fortified to be a line that can get him through the grueling times that we're going to have to face in 2024. It's just going to be the earliest I think people are expecting Texas to actually go to the SEC. So this is great. This is all good news for Longhorns. Good to see Arch Manning commit to the good guys. And folks, let's be honest, we're going to see a slew of offensive players want to come and play with Arch Manning. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. The same way that it happened for Texas when Chris Sims committed. It's going to happen. We're going to bring in a great class this year as well. And now we just got to put those pieces together and make sure that these pieces fit seamlessly so that we can have a great season on the field next year and a great season on the field when it comes time for Arch to compete for the starting position here, probably in the 2024 season. But folks, this is great to have a guy like Arch Manning come here to this school after a 5-7 season and have, the safe bet would have been to go to a school like Georgia or to go to Alabama. Right? Those are safe bets because they have, let's be honest, over the last decade, a winning tradition. Alabama's won 7 championships since Saban has been there, if I'm not mistaken. And Georgia has been in the national championship game twice since Kirby has taken over and won it last year. Those are safe picks. But Arch is putting a lot of faith into who he's going to call probably the quarterback whisperer that has put a lot of quarterbacks in the league from being a quarterback's coach to an offensive coordinator to also a head coach along his journey before coming here to the University of Texas and taking over as the head coach for Texas. So this is all more about fit, in my opinion. This is about fit. It's not about, Arch Manning is legacy. He's NFL legacy. Having his grandfather be Archie Manning, who, let's be honest, if he was on a better team, Archie Manning's a Hall of Famer if he's on a better team. Having 2 Hall of Fame uncles in Peyton, and Eli as well. And then his daddy being a hell of a football player also prior to being injured. So he comes from a family of football, and it's not about the safe pick for him. It's about what he thinks he needs to be able to get to the next level. A guy who is going to nurture his skill and make sure that gets matured enough to be able to be hopefully the top pick in the draft in a few years. So great pickup by the Longhorns. Hook them. Great pickup by the Longhorns. Great day for the Longhorns, folks. I know all my other YouTube content providers out there are doing their thing too on this subject, but go check out everybody's channels on this subject. But this is great news for Texas. Excited for my team, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next season and the season afterwards, and who Arch brings in, what offensive linemen are going to come in, what skill position players are going to come in. Is this going to also influence some defensive juggernauts to also want to switch their commitments and possibly come to the burnt orange and white? But on that note, folks, man, I'm out. Time to get up out of here, and I'm going to drink a good tall can of beer because Arch Manning is coming to Texas. Hook them all day long. Horns up. Like I tell you guys on my podcast, do you. Don't be afraid to fail. Outgrow your environment. Understand your brilliance. NinosCorner. I'm out. Horns always up.